So that was a bit of a tricky qualifying for you there, Scott, but you ended up getting the win. How does that feel?
Oh, it was great, yeah. I was nearly in the gravel trap at the Tories in the qualifying, and it was just one of those come off the brakes and hope it turns, and thankfully it did. But yeah, it was good. I was glad to have the win. A bit gutted for Trev, he ended up in the bank at Pardon, but hopefully he'll get it all sorted this afternoon. But I know I was sat on the start line and qualified a little bit quicker than Robert in the 1 litre Raptor, and saw his time come up on the board. I thought, better pull my finger out. Can't have a scooter engine winning this. So, yeah, it was a good run up, really close by all of us. So yeah, it's good fun.
So you're back in the big beast, and this has been the most successful hill climb car of all time. This Gould. How does it compare with the new bunch of cars coming through?
Oh, I think it's obviously, it's still capable at the moment of winning. How long that lasts for is going to, only time will tell on that. But it's really good to have, 4 or 5 different constructors and lots of different cars and, and driver combinations. So, but yeah, I think, it's still got a couple of years in it, hopefully. But otherwise we'll have to hang it on the wall or something.
Yeah. So Wallace, you're out in the new car. It's still in development. It's one of the new breed of cars. You've driven quite a lot of different hill climb cars. How does this compare with your others?
This one's, they're all absolutely different and individual in their own ways. Totally different again. This one a new learning curve from the 55 next door, which is a fantastic car and really well developed, to jump into this one. Really a clean sheet of paper and learn with it. And this is now the 3rd year, but yeah, we're still kind of developing heavily. We've done more testing this year than we've done before, which has helped on a mechanical basis. Aero platform of it's now really stable, and we're quite happy where we've got to with that. You obviously always want more, but it's a balance and a compromise. The telemetry side of it helps a lot. The kind of technologies in the car's running laser ride height gauges, 1 in the front, 2 in the rear, potentiometers on all the corners so you can see what the dampers are doing, and loads strain gauges and all the push rods so we can see what load we're putting through each corner. and that tied into the pitot tube in the front for windy days to give us aero. So somebody far more intelligent than I can look at it and tell you what it's doing. So there's no hiding from the laptop, it never lies. But it makes it slightly easier. If you're getting a feeling from the car, more often than not, the data and the amount of data we've now got available confirms that, or on odd occasions it completely denies it and the driver's talking rubbish.
So Chris, we've got some exciting news from the Bugatti Trust.
Absolutely. We had a great old friend return back to Prescott, Vermeil Bugatti as we know it, the 5950B. The car actually came to our first international meeting in 1939, and even though the car was a little bit unsuited to the track here, being a big car, twin rear wheels, big 4.8 litre engine, it did very well. Came second to Raymond Mays in R4D.
And what sort of condition is it in now?
Well, it's in reasonable condition, given that it's a racing car, and it was probably never like a showroom car in the first place. But yeah, we're just so pleased to have it here, and it just looks a picture in the trust.
And that's original condition, effectively?
Original condition. The engine is not running, so we won't be able to run it on the track, unfortunately. But yeah, it's in the condition that it was last run. I believe the last time that it's raced was 1946 circa. I might be a little 1 or 2 years out on that, but it's in the same condition that it finished that race in. And of course, Jean-Pierre Vermeil, the driver, probably thought of as Bugatti's most loyal driver. Although he went on to have Grand Prix success with Alfa Romeo, and would probably have been the first Bugatti Grand Prix champion. But unfortunately he lost his life in a crash, as a lot of people do in those days.
And when can people see it?
It's on display for the whole of the summer at the Bugatti Trust. It will be available to be seen at most of our events during the summer. So La Vie en Bleu and the 90th anniversary for sure, it will be on display. And not only that, we will have just outside in the orchard 90 Bugattis. Well, we're hoping for 90 Bugattis anyway. We put the call out for as many Bugattis as we can get for that event. It's the 90th anniversary of the formation of the Bugatti Owners Club. Prescott itself, we've been here for, this is our 81st year. We celebrated our 80th anniversary last year.
Alex, you're in the Firestorm. You're breaking the trend really. There's a lot of other cars out here, but you're sort of out on your own with the Firestorm. How's that working for you?
Well, we really enjoy it. I mean, we've been running DJs now since 2011, and we've got a good relationship with the guys back at the factory. Andy comes and helps us every weekend, and you know, so much of this is actually more about how you feel in a car and the level of support that you get.
Well, you've been doing really well with it, and obviously it's again a different engine choice to many of the other cars. Is that working well for you?
Yeah, I mean, I've always liked the engine. I think when I first started watching, I was 12, 13, it was Graham White Jr. had this engine in a GR51 Gold, and I don't think you can have been that age in that era and not been a fan of Graham. You know, and his legacy lives on. And you know, even though he's not driving so much anymore, his cars are running, and it just seemed like the right engine at the time. It was the right price. It's very light. It's very torquey. It's quite benign. It is underpowered, absolutely. But then, you know, part of getting Dad and Mum in the car and enjoying it is having that ability for it not to be all or nothing. For it, you know, to be able to modulate the power. And I've been lucky enough to drive really powerful cars, and I just don't think they would like it. I think it would be too much of a jump. You know, I mean, they are so fast, these things. It really doesn't, to watch them from the outside, maybe, but it really doesn't give you a real picture until you drop the clutch. And it's, you know, we're doing perhaps 115 at the first corner in 4 seconds or 4 and a bit seconds.
So, Ash Mason, you're in the Westfield this weekend, leading the class so far. You've come back to modified. You've raced a lot of single-seaters. How does this class compare?
We experimented with various single-seaters and enjoyed it. This is still a challenge. It's still great fun. A little bit more sensible speed, but nonetheless we're not hanging around. But it's still just the same. We're on slicks. We've got plenty of power. The car's very quick. Our times are almost close to qualifying for a single-seater. So, but it's slightly less expensive when it goes wrong. A few bits to knock off.
And how do you find you have to modify your driving style in the Westfield versus the single-seater?
I think you have to be a little bit smoother. The car's a little bit softer, so you can't be as aggressive because we don't have the aero to play with. So you have to, a little bit like your Formula Ford, keep the speeds up, keep it moving, not try to scrub off any speed because your corner speeds drop dramatically with no aero.